Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is 3 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. My name's Aron. I'm the program coordinator for Project SOAR. This is our fitness class. I'm doing it live on Zoom right now. I don't think anyone's popped in with me, but somebody might after we get started. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Project SOAR is the veteran program for Access of Wilmington. We provide adapted sports and recreation for veterans with disabilities. This workout today is a full body adapted fitness class to help you become as functional as you're able to be. Now, if I don't have anyone pop in with me, I'll just do my best to kind of give different variations and some different ideas of ways that you can adapt this. If I don't give anything that works for you, feel free to give me a call. My number is in the comments. And otherwise, make a comment on YouTube and I'll try to get back with you and see if we can figure out what works best for you. Anyway, I think that's about it. We do have some really cool, fun trips coming up that some of the people that are doing this workout might be signed up for. We have skiing coming up in mid-March and climbing and camping coming up at the end of March, beginning of April. We also have a scuba trip coming up the beginning of May. And I just spoke to our scuba captain, and then I just planned some of our local scuba outings as well. So you'll be seeing them come up on the calendar really soon. So please check the Access of Wilmington website and go to the Project SOAR portion of that page, and you can see everything that I've put in the calendar so far. You can get your name on the signups early, and that also gives you the link to these classes as well that we do on Zoom. I think that's just about it. It's a gorgeous, beautiful day out. Hard to believe it's so warm in February. So if you have gone outside to work out, I don't blame you. It's a great day to get in a run or a walk or a bike ride or be out on the water. If you've already done that and you're nice and warmed up, fantastic. If not, we'll get a chance to do a real quick 2-minute warm up and some movement for stretching and things like that. And after we do that, we'll move right into the workout. We are doing another high intensity interval training or HIIT workout today. Each segment is a minute long, 40 seconds of movement, 20 seconds of rest. During the rest, I'm going to try to show you what the next movement is going to be. We're doing some combos today. So if you've been working out with me, or if you're kind of a seasoned athlete who's been doing a lot of workouts, you're going to recognize a lot of these things: lunges, squats, twists, burpees, things like that. But we're doing some combinations. So there's going to be times we're doing lunges and also a bicep curl, or we're adding a leg lift after a squat, just to keep things interesting. So there's a little bit more complex of movements, a little bit more cognitive function to remember what you do next. If you ever want to take that combo out and just stick to one part of it, that is totally okay. So if I'm doing a reverse lunge and then a knee, and you want to do a reverse lunge and just a step up, that's a great way to modify this. And like I said, I'll try to give you ideas as we go. I don't play music on my end because I want to avoid getting in trouble with copyright law, and also because I don't want to have it interfere with your ability to hear me while I'm giving instruction. But if you want to play music on your end, it's always really motivating to have a great playlist. So I highly encourage that. I think that's just about it. We'll do a little cool down at the end. Whole thing should take less than an hour. Oh, and I gave you the idea that it's going to be 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. But if you need a different ratio, feel free to do that. If you need to do 30 and 30, you can always stop after 30 seconds of work and take a longer rest. If you just feel like super energized today and you want to take that for 50 seconds and then a 10-second rest, feel free to do that. Just go a little bit longer, but make sure you still give yourself time to rest, because that is an important part of training. If there are any of the exercises today that can be sort of energized into a little hop, Feel free to add that if you want, if you feel really energetic. I'm going to keep it all low impact today. I am signed up for the Wilmington Marathon on Saturday, so I'm trying to keep it a little low key so that I don't get injured or overworked for the marathon. So, but feel free, if you've got that energy level up, to go ahead and amp it up. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we'll do a 2-minute warm up. I like to just change it up and do like 4 different exercises, 30 seconds each. That just keeps me from getting bored. So today I'm going to jog for 30 seconds, do some low impact jacks. You can do the high impact if you want. Some jump rope, and then, or actually I'm going to do high knees instead of jump ropes today, and then some squats. So that's just to get my blood pumping, just to get moving before we start stretching and start working out. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start my smartwatch. And let's start. So I'm going to start with a jog. I'm keeping it pretty low. I'm not lifting my knees really high. Again, that's because I am trying to get ready for my race on Saturday. But if you really want to amp this up, go ahead. Do what you need to get your heart rate up and get moving. That was 30 seconds. We're going to move on to jacks. If you want to do high impact, you can. I'm going to keep it low. Protect my knees and hips and back a little bit. But I can still tell that my heart rate is coming up. So low impact doesn't mean that you're not getting a workout. We're just protecting the joints a little more than when we're bouncing around a lot. All right, and next, if you want to do jump rope, you can. I'm going to keep with high knees. Feel free to get the jump rope out or just to pretend you have a jump rope. Sometimes that is just as good. Make sure you have some water nearby. It's a really warm day, so we want to make sure we stay hydrated. All right, our last 30 seconds, let's knock out some squats. You can have your hands in front of you, or you can put your hands on your hips. So you can keep the body upright, let your shoulder blades slide down your back as you lift your chest. Try to keep all those joints aligned. All right, that was 2 minutes. If you need more warm up, feel free to take your time and warm up a little bit more. I'm going to move on to that dynamic stretching. So I'm going to stay with those squats, but I'm just going to do a few different ones. And I'm not going so much about trying to get my heart rate up. Right now, I'm just trying to see how all my joints feel before I start really like moving into the workout proper. So I'm going to do 5 with my feet close together, maybe even touching. Just see how my joints feel. And I'm going to take it out a little wider, about hips distance. Same thing, nice and slow, 5 times through. Sort of assessing where I am today so that I can make choices about where I need to be with my workout. Let's do 5 more and take it wider. Toes wider than heels. Let the hips and knees and ankles all align. And do 5 more. All right. We're going to do quite a few reverse lunges today during our workout. So let's just go ahead and get the feel for that now. We'll alternate during this warm up. So stepping back with the right, and then back to step forward, and then stepping back with the left. Keep that front knee over the ankle. We'll do each side 5 times, so total of 10. That was 2 on both sides. 3. 4. Last one. All right, great job. We're gonna do a little bit of a hamstring stretch, but I'm keeping it dynamic here at the beginning. So we're not gonna hold, we're gonna move. So I'm gonna stick that right foot out, ground the heel, lift the toe, and then fold down. That left knee is bent a little bit, and come back up, and I'm gonna do that again. So I'm folding, reaching past the foot as much as I can, and then coming up. That's 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more on the side. 5, and then switch. We're gonna switch to that left foot, bending and lifting. You can have a little bend in that extended leg as well. We don't need to lock out the knee, but that standing leg is probably gonna need a little bit of a bend. One more. Great job. All right, we're gonna do a little rotation and stretch with the shoulder. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna twist, twist, and then reach. And then twist, twist, reach to the other side. So let's do that a few more times. Let's make this our last one. Even on both sides. And then the last thing we'll do together is a little bit of a neck rotation or neck stretch. So not forcing anything, but just allowing that right ear to fall down towards the right shoulder. You can take that left hand and reach out, noticing what we're feeling on the left side of the neck, maybe down into the shoulder a little bit. And then if you want, you can tilt your chin down towards your shoulder or up towards the ceiling. You can keep doing that movement. Or if you get to one little spot and realize that that's just a really nice place to be, maybe you feel a good opening there, you can hang out there. And then if you're ready to, you can start to move again. All right, let's release that arm, let the chin fall down towards the chest, and then we'll take the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, just allowing that to happen, not trying to force it. Noticing that sensation on the right side of the neck. You can stay here just like this. If you want to add more intensity, you can reach that right hand out and down. Staying here in stillness, or again, adding in that little bit of movement. Exploring that range of motion, seeing how that feels. And then let's release that arm if you're extending it. Let the chin come to your chest, and then lift the gaze right back out to the front. We are all done with the stretching. Again, if you feel like there's anything else you need to stretch before we get started, go ahead and do that. If you're watching on YouTube, it's really easy. You can pause, do what you need to do, and then come back. Today's workout does not require any special equipment. If you just have a mat or a towel or just some space that's cleared out on your floor that's about that size, that's all you really need. If you want to have some extras to add a little intensity, you can maybe have some hand weights or some exercise bands. If you want some exercise bands and you don't have any, let me know, because we can actually get you some. We have some at the office. And if you don't have hand weights and you want to use hand weights, you can even use like water bottles or soup cans to add a little weight. So use what you have around the house if you need to. Let's go ahead and get started. So like I mentioned, we're going to do 25 exercises. They're all going to be different, so we're not going to repeat. We're going to keep moving through and just do one after another. 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So I'm going to start in just a second, but I'm going to show you the first exercise first before I hit the start button. So I mentioned those reverse lunges. We're going to start with that combo of stepping back into a lunge, stepping forward, stepping back into the lunge again, stepping forward, and then that same leg, lift, lift. So we're squeezing right through that glute. And then we repeat. Lunge, lunge, lift, lift. Got that? All right, we're going to do that on the right. And then we're going to do another exercise on the right. And then we'll do the same set of exercises on the left. And then we're just going to keep going. All right, I'm about to start in 10 seconds. So go ahead and get ready. Let's go. Step back. If you need something for balance, you can have a wall or chair nearby. And then lift, lift, and then step back again.
Halfway there.
We're halfway through. Keep going. I'm keeping my hands on my hips. But if you wanted to add weight, you could hold
10 seconds.
some dumbbells in your hands. Almost done. Rest. We're going to work that right leg again. This time we're going to do a reverse lunge and then come right into a knee lift and then back into that reverse lunge. If you need to put your foot down in between, that's a way to vary this up. Knee lift and then step back and then knee lift. Let's go. Right foot steps back and then knee lifts. Steps back into the lunge, knee lifts. We're staying on that right side rather than alternating. Really burning out that glute on the left. I don't know if you can feel it, but I can.
Seconds.
10 more seconds. All right, we're resting for 20 seconds. And when we start back up again, we're going to do that first exercise on the left. So remember, that's reverse lunge, step back, reverse lunge, step back, leg lift, repeat. Here we go. Go ahead and join me on this one. You can go your own pace. So if you're going faster than me or slower than me, that's fine. Just do as much as you can. Hold on, I'm getting a message from Zoom. All right. Hope you're still going. And then lift, lift. Rest. And then we're going to do that lunge to knee lift on the left leg. 10 seconds more of rest. Let's go. Lunge, knee lift. Lunge, knee lift. You can do it all in one movement like I am, or you can put your foot down in between. And again, if you want to add a little weight, halfway there, you could be holding on to some dumbbells.
10 seconds.
All right, now's our time to rest. We are going to move on to a different exercise. I will demonstrate now. We are going to do a sumo squat. And then as we come up, we're going to twist and reach. Sumo squat again, twist and reach. You can do that without Any extra weight, I'm gonna put some dumbbells in my hands just to add a little extra. So twist, we're going now. Our time has begun. We're in that 40 seconds of work. So you can keep that back upright, chest open.
Halfway there.
We're halfway through this exercise, and this is the only time we have to do it today. Every exercise we just do once during this workout.
Rest.
20 seconds of rest for you. I'm going to demonstrate the next exercise. We're going to start on the other side of our mat. Walk down and out and do 2 push-ups. Remember, you can do all kinds of push-ups, so make that work for you and then come back up and repeat. Our time has started, so let's go. See if you can hug those elbows to your waist, no matter which version of the push-up you want to do.
Halfway there. Ten seconds. Rest.
20 seconds of rest. I will show you the next workout or the next exercise. We're coming back to a squat and then a leg lift to the side. Squat, alternating leg lift to the other side. And we just keep repeating that.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Halfway there.
We're halfway through this exercise. Keep going, nice and strong. Again, you don't have to match my pace.
10 seconds.
Your pace can be faster or slower. We have 10 seconds left before we rest.
Rest.
Time for your rest. I will demonstrate the next exercise. We are going to do a squat burpee. So coming from our standing position into a squat, you can either jump back or step back. I'm going to step back. Push up from here, whatever variation of push up you do.
Let's go.
And then come into a squat. Let's go. Our time has begun. Join me with any variation that works for you. You can even take that push out entirely if you want and do the step back and squat without the push up. So that's another way to vary this up.
Halfway there.
And if your heart rate wasn't high before, it's probably going to be now. Rest. And we're going to move on. Next is a wall sit. We're going to add some wrist curls to make that into a combo. So I'm going to grab hand weights for that, but you don't need hand weights for a wrist curl. So knees are bent, feet are rooted on the mat, and back is long against the wall. And I'm going to curl and extend. Our time has begun, so if you haven't already started, go ahead and get going.
Halfway there.
We're halfway there, so there's 20 seconds left before you rest. You could even change up those wrist curls and go the opposite way, palm
10
down.
seconds.
If you are signed up for any of the climbing events, this is a great way to build some strength in your hands, wrists, and forearms. Oh, rest. Whew. And I'm going to keep these because our next exercise is a combo of a bicep curl, turn the palms the other way, and press up, lower, flip, come down. And you don't have to use weights. Let's go. We're going to start right now. But if you want to, you can.
Halfway there.
We're halfway there. Just so you know, if you're the type of person who likes to keep track, this is exercise number 10 out of 25.
10 seconds.
You're doing great. The next several exercises are mostly related to our arms and back. And then we're going to take it down to the ground for some work. We're resting now. We're going to stick with those arm exercises. The next exercise, we're going to lean over, soft knees, flat back, elbows right next to the side, and press back twice for tricep. And then come up right and do an upright row 2 times. So that's the sequence. Let's go into our combo right now. Tricep extension, triceps extension, upright row 2 times each.
Halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Ten seconds.
10 more seconds. And rest. I will show you the next exercise. We're going to do a good morning. So we're really thinking about the back here. Again, I'm going to use my hands. It's a little bit of a forward bend, nice flat back, knees are soft. Come back up. That's our good morning. And then deadlift, hands are in front. Slide down right in front of the legs and come back up. Squeezing through the seat. Let's do that good morning again. Time has started. Again, going at your own pace, using your breath, trying to go at a pace that allows you to keep good, strong form. We're halfway through this exercise.
10 seconds.
10 more seconds.
Rest.
All right, you get to rest. I'm going to take us on, let's see here, to calf raises and an overhead triceps extension. So it's going to look like this. You're going to come up on your toes while you extend your arms. And then as you lower, bend your elbows back. Let's go. Coming up onto the balls of your feet for that calf raise and then lowering back down. Again, I'm using some weight, but you don't have to. Or right now I'm using both weights. If you wanted to switch and use one,
Halfway there.
you could do that. And if you wanted to do half of this and just do the tricep extensions, or maybe hold on to a chair as you do the calf raises, those are all great options. Choose what works best for you.
Rest.
And you get a chance to rest. We are coming down to the mat for the rest of our workout. So I don't know if that's good news to you, but it is to me. So we're going to start on our right side. And you're going to have to follow me because we're about to start. Coming into a clam leg lift. So our knees are bent, and then extend that top leg right through the heel, rebend the knee, lower the legs back together. So that's what we're going to repeat. Extend, bend, lower. If you've been working out with me, we have done these before, but it's been a few weeks. So thought we'd bring them back.
10 seconds.
10 more seconds here with these clam leg lifts and extensions.
Rest.
Go ahead and rest here. Our next exercise is going to stay right here. We're going to extend that top leg, and we're going to pulse up with that top leg. So we're going to keep pulsing. And I'm going to stop now because that gets intense after a while. So I'm going to take a break with you. And we're about to start. So
Let's go.
Let's lift the leg, extend. Make it so that the heel is like a little higher than your toes, and then let's pulse up. Our hips are stacked, so we're not rocking forward or back. And I can already feel this, and we're only now just getting to halfway through.
Halfway there.
If you need a break, take a break.
Ten seconds.
10 more seconds. I can feel that burn. Rest, and we're going to do those 2 exercises on the other side. So go ahead and spin around. Bend the knees, stack the legs, stack the hips, one on top of the other. That front arm can be in front for balance. And let's go. Lift, extend, just like the other side. Bend and lower. Lift, extend, bend, lower. For those of us keeping track, this is exercise 16 out of 25. So we are well over halfway through our workout today.
Halfway there.
And we're halfway through this particular exercise.
Ten seconds.
10 more seconds here.
Rest.
And let's rest. Remember, next comes those pulses with that leg extended again. So go ahead and take this opportunity to get a little rest. If you can feel that burn, maybe give a little massage or tap there. And then let's go. Lift, extend, and then here come those pulses. See if you can lead with that heel. That's the highest part of your foot during this exercise. We're still working the core here, so draw the navel in towards the spine. That's also going to help you stay steady so that your hip doesn't rock forward and back as you do that leg extension pulse. Or that leg lift. 10 more seconds. We're almost done with this. Rest. While you're resting, I'm going to show you the next exercise. We're going to come into a plank. I'm going to do a forearm plank. And then from that plank, we're going to do a mountain climber on each knee. 1, 2. And then we're going to tap down the knee. So tap with one knee, tap the other. That's the exercise. So let's go. So you can keep those hips low as you pull your knee in. Other knee in. Knee taps down. Knee taps down. Try not to rock here. See if you can keep yourself steady. That's going to take core strength. Tap, tap. We're halfway through this exercise.
Ten seconds.
10 more seconds. Tap, tap, pull, pull, tap, tap, and rest. Great job. We're going to flip over onto our backs. We got some core work to do here. We're going to start with our knees bent and our feet on the mat. And we're going to do a twist to one side and pull that knee in. Back to the center, twist the other side, pull the other knee in. Let's go. Twist with a knee lift. Twist with a knee lift. You could also have your hands behind your head if you prefer. I like mine out in front so I don't pull on my neck too much. You can also hold a weight in your hands if you wanted to weight this a little.
Ten seconds.
10 more seconds. And go ahead and rest here. We're going to do another ab exercise. This time I am going to put my hands behind my head, keeping elbows wide. Crunch up to one side and reach. So I'm twisting to the left, but reaching with my right. and then alternating. So come with me here, crunch and twist reach, crunch to the other side and reach. Let's go.
Halfway there.
We're halfway through.
Ten seconds.
10 more seconds for exercise number 20 out of 25. You're almost done. Little rest here. While you're resting, I'll show you the next exercise. We're going to do a jackknife crunch. So we'll pull the knees in, hands are next to the thighs, and then everything extends out. And then sweep the arms around, come back in. I have to move my chair out of the way.
Let's go.
So extend, sweep around. Really think about pulling that belly button to spine to press your low back down onto the mat so you don't injure your back. So we're really building core strength. At the same time, we're protecting our back.
Halfway there.
Halfway there.
Seconds.
10 more seconds for these jackknife crunches.
Rest.
Take a little rest here. Next thing we're going to do is a reverse crunch. So pulling the knees in like we did before, and then a little hip lift. So we're actually lifting the hips up off the ground and then kicking out, crunching in, and lift. So let's go. Kick, crunch, kick up into that hip lift, and then we'll keep going. Go at your own pace. Listen to your body. I don't know about you, but I am really feeling this in my core.
Seconds.
10 more seconds. Oof, these are burning. Little break here. One more ab exercise. You all know this one. It's the flutter kick. Arms are either at your sides, palms down, or if you like to support your seat a little to help keep your low back on the mat, you could put them right under your hips a little. And let's go. Kick it out, flutter kicks. Really pulling that low back down to the mat and keeping it there by pulling the belly button back towards the spine. Again, you can go at your own pace. So if you want to kick this out faster, go ahead. We're halfway through.
Seconds.
10 more seconds. We have 2 more exercises after this. We're going to build a little strength in our back to counteract all this exercising we've been doing for the front side of our core. So we're going to do some exercises for our back. So we're going to flip right over. We're going to keep our hips and legs on our mat for this exercise. Arms are back behind us. We'll lift up the collarbones in the chest, keeping the back and neck long. Follow me, arms lift, and then we flip the palms down. We keep the arms lifted, flip the palms up. The whole time we're really lifting the chest and shoulders and flipping the palms up and back.
Halfway there.
So you may feel this in your triceps too. So I snuck a little bit of triceps back in on you.
10 seconds.
10 more seconds here.
Rest.
Go ahead and rest. I'm going to show you our final exercise. We're going to stay where we are. Let's stretch our arms out in front. We're going to lift our left leg and our right arm at the same time, keeping our hips and pelvis on the floor. And then we switch left arm, right leg, Do this with me. We're gonna speed it up. Going as fast as you need to. You can go faster than me or slower. Listen to your body. This is our last exercise today.
Halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Seconds.
10 more seconds. We're almost done. Well done. That is all finished. If you have not had a drink of water in a while, this is a good time to get one. If you need to do anything to help yourself cool down, I think I'm gonna turn my fan on a little higher. It is awfully warm up here today. I'll give you another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and start our cool down stretch. But in the meantime, you do whatever you need to do. All right, I'm gonna give you about 30 more seconds, and then we'll start our cool down stretch together. And I'm gonna do the cool down right here on the mat. So you're welcome to join me. But if there are other variations of these stretches that work better for you, or if there's different stretches that your body needs, feel free to do whatever you need to help you recover. All right, let's go ahead and stretch. So I'm going to start with the quad stretch. I'm going to do this one lying on my side again. So we're coming back onto our side. I'm going to bend the knee of the top leg. And then I'm going to reach back and grab onto my ankle or the top of the foot to help stretch the front of the quad on that leg, a little bit through the front of the hip flexor, even a little bit through the core and the chest and my shoulder. So this does a lot here. If you aren't able to grab your foot, you can do this without grabbing your foot. You can have your hand on your hip and just really squeeze that heel towards your seat. Or if you have an old belt, it doesn't have to be fancy. You can loop it around your foot and then hold on to the ends of it just to help you create that tension. Just be careful not to pull so hard that you injure yourself. Really pay attention to what your range of motion needs to be. Let's take a couple more breaths here, and then we're gonna roll over and do the other side. All right, let's release. Flip onto the other side. This can also be done standing. If you prefer, you could hold on to a chair or use your hand on the wall to steady yourself. And there's other variations too, from tabletop or from a kneeling position and actually using a piece of furniture like a couch or the wall to help push your shin so that your foot is closer to your seat. So there's lots of ways to do this. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then let's go ahead and gently release. And let's come into a lunge. I'm going to start with my right foot forward, my left knee down. Go ahead and do what you need to do to get all your joints aligned. So bringing that front ankle underneath the knee, letting your hips and your shoulders line up right over the back knee. You can stay here like this. If you want, you can kind of sink into it, sending that front hip flexor down towards the front edge of your mat. Some people like to reach up and do a little stretch or reach back behind and do a little chest stretch. So if any of that feels good to you, feel free to. Couple more breaths here. And then let's come back up nice and tall and start to straighten that front leg and lift the toes and then fold over. So the hips kind of shift back so that we can do a half split almost. That front leg doesn't need to be perfectly straight. In fact, I don't want you to hyperextend the knee. So see if you can intentionally put just a little bit of a bend there if you don't already have a bend. And then let's switch. Let's take that right knee down and that left foot forward and find our lunge on this side. Feel free to play around with this. Find a good, steady position. You want to slide a little deeper or add a chest stretch, feel free to. And then let's go ahead and start to shift the hips up and back, start to straighten that front leg, lift the toes. If you need to slide that heel a little further forward, go ahead. And we're coming into a hamstring stretch basically on this side. Let's take another couple breaths here. And let's come out of this. I'm gonna go ahead and come right onto my seat and extend my legs out in front. And let's bend the right knee and bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Left leg is extended out in front. If you need a little bend in the knee, that's fine. But see if you can keep the leg from just flopping over. Are you able to kind of activate those thigh muscles to bring that leg and rotate it so the toes and the knee point up towards the ceiling? There you go. We're going to sit up really tall, feeling our sits bones push into the mat, drawing the navel to the spine, and we're going to use that core strength to fold over that extended leg. Even if there's a bend in it, that front leg, the one that's longer. Hands can come to your leg or the floor or your foot. If you like that connection to the foot, but you aren't able to reach it, again, this is a good opportunity. You could use, I don't know where my belt went. It's up there on the couch somewhere, but you could use a belt around the ball of your foot and hold on to the ends to create that connection, that little bit of tension if you like the way that feels. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then we'll release and walk back up. So we're nice and tall, spine is long. Keep the legs as they are. We're going to rotate to the bent knee. Bring the left hand on top of that right knee. Reach the right arm by your ear and then side bend. Like we're going to try to touch those left toes on that extended leg. I always find this a really intense stretch, which reminds me to remind you that more intensity isn't always better in a stretch. Sometimes that makes our body kind of tense up. So if you feel that sense that you're tensing up, see what happens if you back off just a little bit. Maybe don't try to push yourself to 100%. Maybe back off to like 80 or 75, and then see what happens. If you don't force it and you breathe into it, sometimes the body is able to relax and then you can go deeper. On your next inhale, let's lift out of this, release the arms. We're going to switch the legs. So right leg comes out, left knee bends. And let's do the same thing on this side. See if you can rotate through that right leg so that it's up towards the ceiling. It's okay to have a soft knee here. See if you can get a long spine. That's the priority. Before we try to straighten the leg, let's try to get our spine nice and long. Pull in on the abdominal muscles. We're going to use that core strength to fold, and then let your hands land wherever they land. If you want to use the tension of your toes, either with your hand or with a belt, feel free to do that. Next inhale, let's release. Come back nice and tall. Rotate to that bent knee. This time, right hand goes to left knee. Left arm reaches up and over like you're going to try to touch those toes. Inhale, let's come up. And we're going to come onto our backs with bent knees. Do another little hip stretch. So this time, let's cross the right ankle over left knee. Flexing those toes back to the knee, maybe gently pressing that right thigh with your hands. Another option here is you could bring the legs in towards your chest, either just with the power of your legs, or again, if you like that little connection, that little creation of tension, you could put your hands around the left thigh and kind of pull in. That left foot is lifted up. That kind of gives you some freedom here. So if you feel like you need some movement in that left knee, or maybe the foot or ankle, make a little movement here. You could also gently rock that left thigh side to side. You've been moving. Let's come back to being still. If that left foot is lifted, let's let it come back down. You can bring the arms out to the sides in a T shape, palms down, or if you prefer, maybe like bent elbows, palms up. Whatever lets you help keep your shoulder blades on the ground as you let your legs fall to the left. So if you need to shift your hips or change the way your legs are crossed for this twist, go ahead. If your legs don't come all the way to the ground, you could use a yoga block or a rolled up towel or a pillow or something to support them so they're not just hanging there. And if you want to extend the spiral twist all the way through the cervical spine, you can turn and look towards your right shoulder. All right, let's bring everything back to center, uncross the legs, and then we're gonna switch sides. So left ankle over right knee. Again, you're welcome to stay here just like this. This is a beautiful variation of this figure 4 stretch. But if you like some of these other options, feel free to come into them. If that right foot is lifted, let's go ahead and release it back down. Take the arms out to the sides again. Feel those shoulders root down to the earth, and then let yourself twist to the other direction, making any of those little adjustments so that this feels right in your body. Next inhale, let's bring it back to the center, uncross the legs. Maybe give ourselves one more big hug here. You can even rock it out a little if you want. And then we can come up to being seated. That is all I have for you today, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, any concerns, any feedback at all, I really appreciate it. It helps me tailor this so that it works for everybody that's watching. So let me know, like, what works best for you. What's your favorite part? What do you wish was different? What do you hate? Burpees. Just let me know what you think. And I'll keep tailoring these so that we can get functional and fit and have lots of fun doing our other activities, and hopefully not feel too beat up afterwards so that we can keep having fun. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.